All right.
I feel like I've aged about 10 years since the last time we did one of these. Hopefully, you guys didn't think that the AWICs have gone to die, but I ended up being in Canada for about a month. So, I guess in hindsight, we could have done these like on Zoom or something, but just
Maybe.
a lot was going on up there. So, honestly,
It's been really busy.
yeah.
It's just been like, not even just like Canada stuff, just a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Just things kept piling on. Not necessarily bad things, just there was a lot of it.
Yeah.
So it was just a process of, catching up on everything, making sure we had time to put this up.
So we don't want to just, an AWIC is sacred around here. So we don't want to just pump them out just for the sake of pumping them out.
Right.
So, side note, this mini mat, like,
dude, I love this mini mat.
Yeah.
This thing is great.
Yeah, like, actually, it's funny because, like, since these arrived when I was gone, and so I didn't really get, like, a good look of them in person, and I'm just sitting here like, man, that, like, is very visually pleasing.
Yeah.
So,
dude, people love it.
Yeah.
It's really good. Like, I saw it and I was like, wow, that looks great. And then we've had a bunch of people come into the showroom, and that seems to be the one that they gravitate towards the most.
Yeah,
So,
nice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, really solid.
Good job, Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have some world records I know you want to run through. So I'll let you go through your cubing records because you'll probably, I know them all too. But
yeah. These didn't necessarily happen within necessarily like the last week, but they are like the most notable since we've last taken a look at stuff like this. Yeah. So first up, we have Carter Kakula, 0.75 second cube single. Yes, single. That's fast.
Well, as somebody, I am far from a cube expert. Like, I couldn't even solve a cube right now if you asked me, because I know it's like one algorithm, and I just don't care enough to really remember it.
Yes.
Never really been too big on the cube myself.
Me neither. Whenever I go to a competition that has Scube, that's usually like the one round where I just do not care what the results are. It's just more just to do it because it's an event.
Well, I know that obviously, like, we know how to make a nicely set up Scube and everything. So I felt them, and it's just, 0.75,
that's fast.
I think about our Rubik's Magic endeavors.
Yeah.
And the times we get on that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is
one algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no there's no special situations where you need to apply it differently. It's one
Would we
algorithm.
consider that to be an algorithm on the Rubik's Magic?
I don't even know. Like, I guess technically, but
I almost want to say solution.
I would say so. I think that's a better fitting word. Solution.
I don't know why. Comment below. Is the Rubik's Magic solution an algorithm, or is it just a pattern? Because I still think Magic should be brought back. I think it's been enough time to where people, the dust is settled, and we can reignite that flame.
Even if it's not like a fully official thing, I think it'd be cool to see maybe every twice a year. Just sit every twice a year. They're let's take all these events that we've removed, make them competition legal for one day. So you have to go to that competition.
It should be fully official. But
I know that's what you want. I'm trying to think somewhat realistically.
Yeah. I cannot get comfortable. It's just been, today especially, like, it's good that we're making improvements on stuff as usual, but man, it is just like, we saw this car accident on the way here. Like, it is just like I think I bit into my lunch a little too hard. Like, my tooth now hurts. I'm supposed to be at the dentist tomorrow and canceled that to be here to get some stuff done. So that's not really feeling like a good decision.
Yeah.
But okay. So Carter got the world record, and then the Yihang one, I know you're going to bring up also, right?
So if you guys haven't heard, there was this big issue surrounding the quote-unquote first sub-1 average for 2x2. Yihang Wang got a 0.93, I believe. And he, the first, 4 solves were fine. And then on the 5th solve, the judge had lifted the cover before he said he was ready. He did the solve anyway and then just asked for an extra. A lot of people do this, but I think in the actual regulations, I believe it says something along the lines of that you're supposed to ask for an extra immediately before you do the solve.
But that makes sense because nothing, I'm just speaking as it is, like, nothing against Yihang or whatever, but it's almost like if you got a really good solve, he knew he was going for the world record average.
Right.
So I think that the whole argument here is that, like, if it was a good solve, it questions, would he have,
Right, exactly.
would he give up the world record average and be like, yeah, it was the wrong one?
Right.
And then when he got actually, wasn't the fifth solve not a good one?
It was a bad one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he asked,
and then he asked for the extra after he already did the solve. And then that on the extra got him the world record.
Yeah.
But there was a bit of controversy because you're supposed to ask for it pretty much like right away, but he didn't, which I see this a lot in competitions. A lot of people will, solve their cube anyway and then still ask for the extra. Usually they have it like on camera or something and they could see, he didn't, I didn't say ready beforehand. But, I think.
Like, why though? I feel like it adds a necessary complication. Like if you know you're going to say, if you know you're going to say something either way, like, I don't know, like, I just think it'd be so much cleaner to just.
Yeah, I would just do it right away.
Yeah.
Because this situation could happen where, you could get a bad solve and then be like, oh, I want an extra. And then it brings into question, the morality of it. But.
Well, the whole thing again, I don't know, but the whole like sixth scramble, I know like the WCA, I mean, what more could you really do? Like I'm trying to think like what's the most fair? Like if a judge does make a mistake and you are entitled to another scramble, like you shouldn't have to get a DNF, because where I'm going with this is like if you get a world record single on that sixth scramble,
right,
but no one else had the opportunity to use that sixth scramble, it
that is kind of
seems
weird.
But then you could argue different competitions.
Right. I don't know, like almost like luck of the draw kind of thing.
We'll see. I think just given the fact that we see a lot of unreasonable complaints for things, I could just see in the context of it being at the same competition, somebody getting a world record on a scramble that not everybody else got to use at the same competition. I could see that being like, someone would probably go full Karen on that.
Probably. I would imagine.
Yeah. Sorry for any Karens out there.
But I will say, they did not approve, I guess, the world record. So they went with the original fifth solve instead of the sixth one. And then I believe a day later, Zayn Kanani got a .92.
Yeah, that's
so even if the .93 had counted, Zayn Kanani still would have beat it by .01.
So Yihang should feel at least good about that.
Right. And then I think Yihang, like the next weekend, got a .93 average.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it ended up working out in the end, but.
It's just so crazy the times that we're getting down to. I mean, it is just genuinely like, how low is that going to go? Honestly, I think we have to start using the third. Maybe not. I know time base is a thing, but like, and I'm not super familiar with it, but is the whole idea that the third decimal of time base is there a third decimal point?
I'm not too sure. I've only used time base once, and it was for an unofficial event, so I wasn't really.
For those that don't know, really quickly, time base is like a new timer display, right?
It's a new timer display that like almost quote unquote like as close to instantaneously as you can get to like uploading your times to WCA Live. It's supposed to be less messy, so there's no like pen and paper. You have like an RFID card that's associated with you. And then you can use that to scan directly onto the timer, and that like okays the solve essentially.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. I'm sure because it's still relatively new. It's been around, I think, less than a year still.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to see that as we get further down the road, to see it kind of maybe appear in like maybe not necessarily world championships, at least as of right now, but like definitely like regional championships like West Coast or maybe East Coast, wherever, just to see how it handles a like championship setting.
Yeah, I think it'll have to be vetted heavily before it's deployed for like mass use.
Right. I mean, it seems cool.
Yeah, like, I do think though that we do need to adopt a third decimal point.
Yeah, especially as these times get lower and lower. Like when Max Park and Timon Koloshinsky got the same world record average.
Yeah.
What was the third decimal at that point?
And that's the thing that's so interesting is I've had a few friends and family members like come to competitions with me.
Right.
And one of the questions is always like when they see the scorecard, like where's the third decimal? Because I think it's a little confusing when it's, I mean, like maybe they should just black tape over it.
I've seen that happen at some competitions where they'll put tape either on the timer itself over the third decimal or over the display. But I mean, like, as times get faster and faster, honestly, I think we should probably, at least some point in the near future, start adopting that third decimal.
Because from my understanding, they don't use it now because I believe there was like a survey done of it being used to where they discovered that certain numbers were coming up more frequently in like a not true variable nature, to where, like, let's just say, for example, it was number 7 and 3 were coming up disproportionately more on that third decimal point.
I see. Okay.
Than other ones. So their argument is that SpeedStacks did not make a truly accurate third decimal timer.
I see.
And it's essentially just like rolling a die.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I could with that explanation, it makes sense why they haven't implemented using the third decimal. But
and then I think they also said that some
accurate,
competitions it gets messy because like previous records, new records. I almost just think like it is what it is. We just need to like roll with it. And even if it is random, like I just think with how low times are getting, that's kind of just part of it to preserve records still being broken, because I just have to feel that at some point in time, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like at some point in time, the record will get to a point where maybe it'll like never be broken again.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could always go down by like 100th of a second or thousandth of a second. And that just comes down to like literally like your hand movement. So maybe not. But I just feel like as it gets to that point, it'll be a lot less interesting for people to stick around when you're literally shaving hundredths or thousandths of a second off of a time.
Right. Which, I mean, that's kind of how Magic got at a point, which also there's other reasons why Magic got removed. But, you know, part of it was that it really wasn't getting faster.
Can you tell me about those other reasons? You may jog my memory, but I just thought that it just got to the point where it was too.
A big part of it was that it got to, you know, a point where it wasn't like really progressing forward, but also it wasn't. One of the reasons was that it's not a variable thing, like where when you scramble a 3x3, there's a bunch of different positions it could be in. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Magic, you have your start position. It's always the same. You do the one solution algorithm.
There's a few different solutions, but I see what you mean though.
Right.
But yeah, I disagree with that though, because it's skill.
Yeah, there is skill, but that's just part of the reasons that they've given for removing it. Those reasons are wrong. Yeah. See, you can tell he really wants to have Magic back.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because one of the manufacturers for the Lingao Magic messed up on an order, and we were supposed to get Master Magics, which are 16 panels.
Right.
They randomly sent us these like 20 panels that I've never seen before.
Really?
Yeah, and they mislabeled them, so it went out to the customer correctly, and the customer was like, "This is freaking awesome! Like, do you have any more of these?" Yeah. And we did. So like, it was a win-win because we were able to catch the mistake, fix our inventory, sell them the rest of them for the price of a regular Magic, which is a deal, and they got the original Magic out of it. So that was a interesting discovery.
Yeah. I know, like, it's really popular in the US, but there's a website where you can see like unofficial events, like the records and stuff for them. So like Magic is like on there. I want to say it's like cubingcontests.com or something. It's attached to our competition page, which we'll touch on a little bit later. But like it pretty much keeps track of all these unofficial events and like where you rank on them. And obviously, post removal, times have gone kind of back up because less people do it. I think right now I want to say I'm like 15th in the world, technically by average, I think.
Yeah. I don't know why 0.74 is the number that comes to mind when I associate that with the Magic World Record. Do you have any idea what it was?
Not a clue. I know it was under a second. I know that.
Research that and we'll throw that on screen.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if you're going to be the one to edit this, but
yeah.
So
put it on screen.
If you don't see it on screen, we're coming for you, whoever edits this. So moving on, you also, I know, because again, for those that don't know, we have a few topics that we would like to hit on with these, but sometimes things just get too juicy and we don't always do that without making this like an hour-long thing.
Right.
But yeah, and I align with you so much on this topic. So I guess Jaden has beef with the fact that these manufacturers are having a trend of just taking an old design example, MGC 4x4 that's been out since 2019.
It's somewhere around that. I looked it up for one of the videos we did because I wanted to see how old it was, but I don't remember.
Fact checking.
It's like 2019, 2020, maybe 2018, but I think 2019 is the right time. But essentially what he's touching upon while he looks this up is that they're releasing the same cube with these like almost insignificant upgrades, like, or not necessary. Like they have the normal MGC that's been around for years. Then they made the UV coated one. There's no differences except it's UV coated, which
We're
is
about to hit the 4th year anniversary, by the way.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, it's like just the UV coated. And then they released another version. That's the Speed Micro Actuator version, which adds this kind of like really small, almost like ball bearing type thing. Which
picture on screen.
Right, which makes it like slightly faster, but not like enough to make me want to go out and buy this.
What really butters my toast on this is that the box for the Speed Actuator one is how it should have been from the freaking beginning.
It's so small.
Yeah, again, we post a picture of a side-by-side reference.
Right.
It's so much smaller. It slides out. It's more durable, too. Like, it feels like thicker cardboard. It's cheaper for everybody involved for us to get it here and to ship it over to you.
No sleeve.
Yeah.
No sleeve. Yep. That's the best part of that thing. Yeah.
The sleeve design is like printed onto there because that's always a headache.
Yeah.
And yeah, but then the UV coated version, I presume they used the same big box just so they could slap the UV sticker on there.
Yeah, all they did was slap a sticker.
So I guess that kind of makes sense why they would use the big box. I just wish they would have went with the small box because it's like, I don't know. Right. I mean, the Speed Actuator micro bearing thing, I can say is actually, I'll give them points. It's cool. It's different and unique. So like, cool. Like that, but like, put it into like the VIN 4x4.
Right.
They would have been a lot more appropriate in the VIN 4x4 because it is an MGC.
In this case, which is another like point on this topic, is just make a new one. Like a new MGC 4x4 V2.
I was going to say that, but that's kind of asking a lot.
Oh yeah, but still, like,
because the MGC
stop
4x4
releasing old cubes with these minor upgrades. Just give me a new cube where you either do like a full overhaul or actually improve on it. It's been years.
Well, they are working on a new 5x5. Did you see that?
I did see that, but let's be honest here. Is it going to be UV coated Speed Micro Actuator version?
They did do a really good job with the MGC series. It did stand the test of time.
It did
really well.
It's still been 4 years.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I don't know. I just really, for me, like, it's a pain in the butt when you get 4 years later a new version of the same cubes. You have to go back to all the previous listings, make sure everything matches. Like, we try to do comparison charts and stuff to make it easier for you guys. It is just, it's a hassle. Like, then the product pictures, like my like OCD tendencies kick in to where I'm like, oh, is the color grading like exactly the same on these? Like, it just really is like bothersome.
Because to me, it's like I love new features in cubes because I always like seeing something new. But I also want like a new cube to go with it. You know, something where the hardware complements the feature, because we have outdated hardware, not fully outdated, but you know, old hardware, new feature. And it's like, sure, they can go together, but give us new hardware with actual like a boost in performance with this new feature, call it the V2. And now you have a new cube that you can sell. One, the performance should be better just already. And then you get the bonus features along with it. It sets a new precedent. But
well, the thing is that the VIN 4x4, which for those that don't know, is essentially an MGC 4x4 with just some slight piece revisions and slight updates. That got a pass. No one really like had an issue with that.
Right.
So yeah, like, I don't know if the Speed Micro Actuator thing was an afterthought or if maybe, because like the VIN is the MGC, it's made through YJ, but like, I want to say somebody else is involved in it.
Probably.
To where like maybe there's like royalties or cuts that have to go. So like YJ wanted to use that feature for themselves.
Right.
I don't really know, but yeah, that it is. Then even the YS3M, which is not an old cube, it's just like, okay, now we have the 20 magnet ball core. It's just like, it is, and it's just so.
That's one of those features where it's like, it's not a big enough difference for me to like like if I were just to be a customer, and let's say I've already bought the YS3 because that's been out for.
Well, don't say just the customer. Those people are customers are number one. So not just the customer.
I mean,
if you have the privilege of being a customer.
I mean, the customer versus employee who spends all day with these
team
cubes.
member, man. We're all valued here.
Dude, I can't win. There's no winning here.
You're just but no,
But like,
well, my issue with it is that like, okay, had the YS3 come out with all these 4 versions, I think it's 4 versions. I can't even keep them all straight anymore.
It's 4, and now with the 20 magnet, it's 5.
Okay, yeah. So like, at least when it releases, people have their fair shot to like assess all the different versions, decide which one or ones they want, make the purchase, call it good. But now, like when you release a new version this much later, it's like, okay, the people that already have one likely aren't. They maybe would have wanted the 20 magnet bulk, or if they were buying it from the get-go, but maybe now they don't want to just buy a whole nother cube to get the 20 magnet.
Right.
And it just like there's like resentment. There's like, oh well, great. Like I would have wanted the 20 magnet bulk core for the extra however many dollars, but I'm not gonna buy the whole thing. Or it screws us because then we get returns. Right. For the old ones. It just is like, I don't know. I wish that these cube manufacturers, I try to help, and some of them take my advice more than others. And I'm not saying that I know everything, but like I have a pretty good idea of what people like and want, at least in the US market. And I just wish that they would like take more of it. And no one's perfect, but it's just, I don't know.
It's just like you release an old cube with new features. Sometimes the features are cool. Yes. Other times it's like, I don't know if it's a big enough difference.
Didn't GAN do this with the 356 maglev?
Yeah, because it's essentially just the same, I believe.
But at least, and that one actually is popular. Like it does well. Even the RS32, I think that one is a new mech.
Yeah, the GAN RS2,
but it's kind of like equally as like
it's like an improved RS, but yeah, I feel like that's more justified a bit, just because the 356 series, it was like, I think they're more reviving the 356 series as opposed to taking the cube that already existed and being like, oh yeah, we're taking the 356M and adding maglev, because they did update it a bit.
It also kills me that like the 356 used to always be in the product titles, then it got dropped, but then it's like here for some, because for those that don't know, the GAN 356 means the 3 is their naming scheme is the first digit is 3 for 3 by 3, however many layers. Yeah. Second one, and second 2 numbers at the size. So a 3 by 3, 56 millimeter. So there was a GAN 357, 3 by 3, 57 millimeters.
Right.
But it's like these names, like the GAN 356, 14 Pro, maglev, UV coating. It's just like these names are going to be so ridiculous, but it's just interesting that like on our product brochures, some of them say 356 on title, other ones don't. And it's just like, let's just kind of like
pick a scheme and like kind of like stick with it.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just trying to think though, before we move on to like the new cubes, are there really, aside from the MGC and my short-term memory,
YS3M?
Yeah, I already forgot. Are there any like other recent examples of old mechs being like dug out of the grave? And
I wouldn't say necessarily dug out of the grave, but like the 14M Pro.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I mean, to be fair, this one is more fixing an issue as opposed to adding a either unwanted or unnecessary feature.
Well, you know what says a lot, though? They knew it had a popping issue from very early on in the release.
Right.
And I get it. For them to have to like scrap all those GAN 14s sucks, but they've been kind of selling a product this whole time that they knew was not up to par, waiting for that stock to move before they made the new one. The prices did get reduced on the GAN 14 in preparation for this, but I kind of would have rather have seen from the beginning, hey guys, during our testing and stuff, we did not catch this. It's a thing. We're going to lower the price and we're working on a new 14 Pro. Right. And that way, because like for us, we deal with the backlash of like, oh, I just ordered a 14. Now there's a 14 Pro. Oh, what's different about it? Oh, this one doesn't has a better anti-popping mechanism. Then they think that, oh, well, is the 14 that I just spent $65 on not good anymore? It's just not a good feeling when you spend that kind of money on something and you're instantly outdated and then you feel like it's an inferior product. Like when I bought my last this MacBook actually, literally, and again, it was my fault. I needed a computer, and I knew they were going to release a new one. It had been a while for MacBooks, but then the Touch Bar one came out like a month later, and I'm just like, feels bad, man.
Right.
Feels bad, especially because Veronica got the Touch Bar one, so I got to look at it every single day and just be like, Touch Bar's looking pretty nice. But anyway, yeah. So as far as new cubes go, I mean, I guess while we're talking about GAN, the Megaminx V2.
Yeah. There's a delay on that, right?
It's just been, the problem is, again, it's been delayed after delayed after delayed, and we're given so little info, which our customers expect a full rundown, which I would love to give, and I agree with.
Like, we would love to keep everyone in the loop, because one, that helps, satisfy the curiosity, and it also gives people a reasonable timeline to expect things, or they'll understand we thought this was coming out a lot sooner, but
they could be gifts. It just sucks when we don't really have clear answers for people. Right. And we're I feel like I'm giving people the runaround when I'm not. But it's I guess that straight up we were told that it's not been prioritized in preparation for the GAN 14 Pro.
Right.
Is what's happened. And we're just kind of being, they have our original order, right? And they're just sending out little batch by batch because there's 4 different variants of it in total. There's the UV coated and frosted. Then in those parents, you have the black face and then the gray face, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of variants to keep track of. And it's unfortunate. I hate having to tell people hey, another week went by. We got some more in. You didn't pre-order early enough. So you didn't make this batch, but we'll check back next week. So So GAN Megaminx V2, GAN 14 Pro, possibly MGC 5x5 V2 coming out. They said they were testing 2 new 3x3s also, which we don't really need that.
YJ is testing 3x3?
It's interesting because the first MGC 3x3 was so good, relatively speaking. People loved it. Then the V2, I thought it was a good cube. And people...
Yeah, I know. I saw the cube score. I looked at it.
Yeah, I liked it, man. And then what came after the V2 was...
There was
the Pro... Or no,
there was
Elite,
the Evo or something, right?
Yeah, I don't even know. It's just, it's gone substantially downhill as time has gone on.
Let's put it this way. YJ, really good at making kind of the more budget-friendly, bigger cubes, and more kind of square one.
And 2x2.
2x2, much better than the 3x3. As good as the other cubes.
I mean, they break a lot, so
that's
terrible
my point
for us,
right?
But everyone loves it when it's working.
I would say YJ, stay away from 3x3s. Do anything else except make the same puzzle.
I'm
with
getting
an unwanted
kind
feature.
of angry as I'm thinking about all the issues we deal with. I'm wait a minute, it's all MGC stuff, broken big cube centerpieces, 2x2 corners. Come to think of it, the 3x3s break the least. But
remember when they ran their car over the 3x3? Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Did we ever replicate that?
No, we were gonna do it and put it to the test, but I don't think we ever did.
I think we decided if it broke, that would look bad, so we didn't want to do it. But yeah, I don't know. That's wow. Yeah, that really just kind of I warn people too with the MGC series. They're great, but they, in my opinion, there is a line it's right here. Too loose, too tight. And there is there is a quarter of a turn threshold between that too tight, too loose. There is a very definite sweet spot. It kills me whenever I sell an MGC 6x6 to some young aspiring cuber and they don't opt for a setup service for the tensioning and the lubing, and I just see the turning style, I'm just I will see you in probably 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it happens. You try to give warnings too, but
I usually if I know there's a puzzle that's either tight or loose out of the box, most of the time, I usually try to give them that warning, with the YJ Minis, the Mini 4x4 and 5x5. They're pretty loose out of the box. So when a customer comes in store and they want to get one, I usually tell them right away, these come pretty loose. I would recommend tightening them a bit, especially since most of the time, you're not speed solving the minis. They're usually entry level cubes.
A lot of the people that buy the minis have smaller hands and are younger and not as careful in some cases.
So I always say, it's good to be on the safe side and just tighten them a bit, just right out of the box. That way you can reduce the chance of it popping.
Mm-hmm.
But, sometimes it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Well, so other new cubes. We just got the Qi AI Smart Cube.
Those are cool. The Qi SCS.
Yeah, I know that was pretty funny. Yeah, that's surprisingly inexpensive. Did you confirm if it has a gyroscope or not?
It does not, as far as I can tell.
I'm assuming no.
I've used the app. It doesn't rotate at all when I'm turning the cube. So.
I was assuming no, because it's $22, which is insane for a Bluetooth.
I will
cube.
say it performs pretty well.
Yeah,
it eats up lube like no other.
Do you like the art version, which is black, rounded corners, tiles, and transparent internals, or are you a fan of the speed version, which is the stickerless?
I'm more of a fan of the speed version, but that's more because I'm I'm interested in the speed side of things. But I can imagine there's going to be a pretty good chunk of people that are really going to like that art version.
I think I'm in that chunk because I like it. I would get the art version.
Yeah,
if I were
it reminds me of a much better Go Cube.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, because I haven't used the art version as much as the speed one, but it kind of feels a little bit more snappy, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I'm more on the speed side of things, so I like that one. It's based off the Qi M Pro 3x3, as far as I can tell, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and I'm trying to think. We got the Galaxy Terraminx. There's been some cool new releases lately, but going into the summer months, probably going to slow down a little bit on that, and then come September, October, start to ramp up. So I'm just curious. There's almost 100% going to be a GAN 15 later this year.
15?
Almost 100% guarantee.
I was thinking 15 by 15.
The GAN
the GAN
14 Pro is too early for their yearly release cycle.
Right. And they always do the yearly release, so
I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see how I don't know if that'll work in their favor, because you're going to have two technically flagship releases really close to each other in comparison to previous years. So it's going to be interesting to see how the plays with each other, the 14 Pro and the 15.
Yeah, then I don't know if we mentioned the GAN 5x5. I think we did.
Maybe briefly, but yeah, that's a new one. I'm interested in that.
See, I did warn people, though. GAN was slick when the Hong came out. They wanted to swipe that thunder, and they announced their 5x5 prototypes, and it worked because I was in Canada that first week. I think it was available at a competition, I want to say. All I know is there was a competition when it was very new,
right?
And people were straight up I want it, but I want to try the GAN one. And I told them
right,
just so you know, I'm not telling you not to wait, but if you're not cool waiting for potentially a few months, I would get it now,
right?
Because
and also
never know.
I have seen videos of people with the prototypes and stuff, and it seems to be good. But I'm also skeptical because I know how their 4x4 turned out. So I
have no gripes with their 4x4. Because they fixed it in the batch 2. Even the batch 1, honestly, I didn't think was that big of a problem. But yeah, this man hates it.
Yeah, I am not a fan. I'm sure there are plenty of you guys out there that also agree with me that it is not a good cube. But yeah, that's why I'm a little skeptical with the 5x5. Though I am interested in it because I use the Volk 5, and then I tried switching to the Dionysia, the Auschwang WRM, a couple of other 5x5s, and nothing really felt good. And then the Hong came out. I loved it. It was great. So
it made me come out of 5x5 retirement. It was that good.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how the GAN 5x5 is in comparison to the Hong, since those are pretty much now would be the top two players.
Well, I'd say let's transition to, I guess the breaking news that happened.
Oh yeah.
Last night. Yeah. So, oh man, I don't even know where to start with this. Essentially, Daily Puzzles in Australia went out of business, or they're closing. It's pretty clear that they're going to, but now that I just gave them free advertising, I'm sure they'll find a way to not close and then free advertising.
Yeah.
I'm joking. But essentially with that, it just was it's interesting because Australia was the first expansion that we were going to hit.
Right.
And then things lined up differently to where we prioritized Canada first.
Right.
still on the fence about going to Australia, but I have to say that considering there are only 2 big stores, both closed within 6 months of one another.
Right.
Well, .com.au closed, I think, officially in very early January, like first week of January.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess a little over like 3 months. Well, I guess we're getting closer to 5, but
Yeah.
it makes me wonder, is there something wrong with the market over there? Or is it a managerial thing? I mean, I will say that everyone, I shouldn't say everybody, for the most part, people that don't know the ins and outs of a cubing business, which is a lot of people,
Right.
they just assume that like you buy a cube for $1, you sell it for $20, and you're just raking in $19.
Right.
And they neglect the fact that one, cubes are not $1.
Right.
In most cases, if it's
Right.
$1, it's not going to be good.
Right.
But there's just so much overhead, and in cubes, the margins on them end up being so slim that like if you're not being if you don't have a really clean operation running, or you don't have the volume behind you to support it, like it's just sort of like it's almost a matter of when it's gonna
Right.
kind of fail, unless you're okay, like literally like working on nothing. Which, as we all get older, because I feel like lots of cube stores opened around the same time, like. We started in the US, then a few others trickled in within a year or two. It just kind of like all started to grow.
It was also a lot easier to start a business when you started it.
Yeah.
Because there was significantly less product.
I tell people that all the time, that if I had to restart SpeedCube Shop like today, it would be probably a scenario where I'm having to take like a bank loan.
Yeah. I could not even fathom trying to like get into the SpeedCube shop business.
Well, it's funny because as in this Daily Puzzles thread, someone made a comment saying that if they had $20 million, they could start a company that rivals us. And I'm like, if you need $20 million to rival us, then that's kind of saying something right there. Just saying, give me $20 million and we'll see what I could do with that.
Right.
But yeah, it is. And the thing about it, again, with the whole Daily Puzzles thing, if you want to learn more, there's Reddit posts that are floating around all over the cubing things. They may or may not be pulled at some point, but they reveal a lot about the situation. And I have to say that while unfortunate, it is not really surprising. And again, I'm no attorney, but there are some comments on it that point to it being some like not great stuff. And unfortunately, I think it's just a matter of call it what you will, gambling or whatever, but it just kind of catches up with you. And
it's messy for sure.
And he ended up with like $500,000 of debt, which is just like mind bending. And there's just so much there. Like, yeah, we were competitors. We've had our differences in the past, but nobody likes to really hear that.
Right.
And
like even like as competitors, you know, it's one of those things where still like they're still part of that same community. And it's like you don't want to hear, you know, anyone necessarily like going under like unlucky or unfortunate times, because it's not a pleasant thing to hear.
No, it's not. And it just really like some of the things that he like, because essentially he would make these personal Reddit posts asking for help, and reading some of those, I mean, a lot of his concerns and issues I deal with on a daily basis. Like there's a lot of crossover. So I can definitely sympathize. And as much as it sucks, I do think that him closing was like the best option, because to continue to run a business knowing that you have this huge debt that you're essentially never going to pay off, it's actually illegal. Yeah. It's called being insolvent. Yeah. So yeah, you can't just do that.
Right. Like I get being very passionate, you know, and it's like you don't want to.
Well, and hanging on, like
right, you don't want to let go of that thing that you've been working like so hard on.
Yeah, I mean, I like sending that email saying like we're closing. I mean, again, things can change, I guess, but like that must have been a hard email to send. Yeah. And I will say that it's just what's interesting about it is now that there's essentially a vacancy in Australia for Cube Supply, people are like debating where to get cubes from and stuff. And I've been seeing, I mean, look, guys, again, I have a cube store. It's in my best interest if you guys support it, because that's how we all pay our bills. But again, I let our service and everything speak for itself. And and don't really feel like I have to like. It's why people say that I'm like sales pitching. I'm like I mean I really don't think so. It's like, again, we're selling products here, but like I give honest feedback, and it's like, if I wanted to be sales pitchy, it would be like those like 90s car dealership commercials or whatever.
Like, it could go so much further. Like,
but like my point is that when people, it's interesting because like I think that the cube stores that are essentially established, it's like kind of like the cubing manufacturers. They're like the pillars of the community. Like, you know, some of us are more involved than others, but like, when you shop at a cube store like Speedcube Shop, you get the expertise. You're working with cubers. You have a huge selection. There's post-product support if you have pops, you know, need replacement pieces. There's lube services, and if you have any questions about what to get, it's just like
an overall convenience. Like, it's very, very convenient.
You're shopping with experts, and I mean, our pricing is, we sell for what we're required to sell at for the most part. And again, I think that our shipping rivals Amazon. I mean, we don't yet have our own like delivery infrastructure, but like when Amazon does deliveries through like the USPS or FedEx, which is more common than people realize, like we ship orders like in 4 hours on average. That's including weekends and custom products. Like we ship orders really quickly, and yeah, there are some delivery issues from time to time, but that's, I mean, we can't control that. So with that all being said, like this reminds me of back in the day, there was a Diane Zanchi knockoff. Some random dude in China just like took the mold, copied it, and just made like an identical replacement. The plastic quality was different, so it wasn't quite as good. But people that would buy that, aside from just like, I'm buying the regular one and the fake one for like experimental sake, the people that were just buying the fake one because it was cheaper or whatever, it's like, don't be surprised. And Diane, I mean, I don't think this was the reason why, but like, don't be surprised if Diane eventually gets hurt by it, goes out of business, whatever. So my point being, if you believe in a company or a business or whatever, I'm not saying to support it if it's like not in your best interest too. Like, if it has to be a two-way street of value provided by the company to the customer and customer support. Like it's a circle of life type situation. But my point is that when people immediately just want to shop with that random third-party seller who drop ships cubes to Amazon or whatever from China, and we see this all the time. They get mislabeled because we know cubes and they're already hard enough to tell apart when they get delivered. Like they will use the same box for different items inside. They'll mislabel them. So even though it says black plastic on a box, you can't trust that. You have to open it and, make sure it's stickerless. Point being, it's not nearly as good of a service. And if you're saving $1 or $2 or whatever it is, if that grows to an extent, like what maybe happened in Australia, people are buying from other vendors or whatever. Don't be surprised when pillars start to fall. Like, like the 2 Australia stores are now gone because they weren't able to support themselves. I'm not saying that it was a support issue in this case, but my point is, like, shop where you want to shop, do what you want to do. But just if you see our prices go up, because I mean, the economy is not in a great circumstance in many parts of the world right now. It's just things change. So, it's like,
I know like some people like to shop directly with the manufacturer, which,
oh, that's man.
Like my thing with that is like, if that's what you want to do, truly, I mean, that's fine. My thing is like, when you buy directly from a manufacturer, you can only ask that specific manufacturer about the cube you bought. You can't, ask another company. And what I mean by that is like, if you buy a cube from Qi, buy a cube from Gan, buy a cube from Moyu, you have to ask each of those companies about their specific cube. Whereas if you bought, a Qi, Moyu, Gan cube from us, you could ask one person about all 3 cubes instead of having to reach out to 3 separate people.
And the service you get historically, from what we've been told and what we've seen, is not nearly as good, not anywhere as good as what we provide. Like, they're big fans on just, oh, you have a broken cube? Well, here, we'll send you out a replacement part. Oh, it popped? Sorry, that's on you.
And even like when we've tried to, like if we get something that's damaged, whether like in customs or in transit or whatever, just us trying to reach out, and
I've given up. We do not get like reimbursed.
We've tried, and it's it's honestly more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Like the time you put in chasing these people down to try to like, I mean, because like, yeah, like whether if a box is damaged in transit, then it's like, is it a mail carrier thing? I mean, we still replace broken stuff and we
Right.
try to do claims and worry about that after, but we make sure our customers are taken care of.
Right.
Factories, I can't say, make a general statement, say all of them, but them not so much. And what really sucks is that some of these factories are trying this new thing where and this is the dream from like a profit standpoint,
Right.
but being the manufacturer and the retailer,
Yeah.
you're selling it at the retail price, making it at your price, like that's a good margin.
Right.
But it's just interesting that they're doing these things where like they're over time being more and more aggressive with it. We're like, okay, new cube comes out, we gatekeep it for a month. Like
Right.
you can only get it from us. And there's people that just cannot resist waiting. And hey, I can't say I blame them to some extent. But the joke is, it always does make me feel like a little good when people will like order it from like a Chinese manufacturer directly.
Right.
And then we get ours and we ship them out. And they're like, some people will say like, wow, I'm still waiting on mine
Right.
from the factory because it gets held in customs or whatever. And guess what? They don't have the resources or care to really help in some cases.
Right.
I should say resources.
Let's do a little callback to why you opened up SpeedCube Shop in the first place.
Yeah.
When you placed that order and it never showed up.
Yeah. I can't say that all stores in China, or I can't say if you're not shopping with SpeedCube Shop, it's going to be a bad store. But I'm really proud of what we built. I can with 100% honestly say that I think that shopping with us is like your best option. I really do. I mean, the amount of effort we put in just the whole customer support, like, even when we're not wrong, like people will make a shipment and they'll create an order, make a mistake and like order the wrong plastic color or pick the wrong shipping method. Like we'll come out of pocket just as like hey, it's not our fault, but like that sucks. And like, we'll do you a solid on this one.
Right.
And not many companies do that. And it's expensive to do it. Like I looked at how much money we spent on replacement cubes last year, not even packages.
Right.
It's a big number. And like, I would love to have that big number to reinvest into either, the business, staff, my family, a little bit of all three. Like it would be nice, but I don't know. So I guess where I'm going with this is like, it's tough times.
Right.
I mean,
support companies that you think, you want to stay around and, last, companies that you believe in.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it.
And if you don't be surprised if things happen.
Yeah, and obviously it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It's if you look at the Diddley Puzzle situation, it dates back, I think, I want to say about 2 years when he starts kind of like posting about his issues. But internet's a crazy place because people discovered all this before he made it public. So like it's just absolutely wild to watch it crumble so quickly. Like it was a long process, but towards the end there, it just was like
it was it was definitely something.
Well, this was a juicy one. Like, good to be back, but
kind of ended a little on a kind of a not necessarily dark note, but
I'm gonna go. Just, geez, man. Like, I need to go like walk in the sun after that. But it's the reality, Business. Just because it's a cubing store and we love what we do, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. It's not easy. It's very much a real business. I will say that man, the conclusions or assumptions that people make about like throwing out numbers or someone was saying that like the Daily Puzzles claims they've netted like was it 10 or 20 million, and I'm just like, man, like you like just that's how rumors and misinformation are spread. It's just people just do not read or they just jump to conclusions.
So let's put it this way: if you see someone throwing out numbers and it's not that business or company, take it with a grain of salt.
Nobody knows for sure but the person running the business.
So like, I know we've had people say stuff along the lines of like, we didn't actually like buy CanCube and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like seriously, what is up with that? Like, I mean, like we didn't choose to continue CanCube as a brand, but like I wrote the check. Like,
Right.
we purchased CanCube, and for someone to say like they didn't do it, I'm just like, where are you basing that off of?
And also, it's not even like one of those things where it's like, even if we didn't necessarily buy them, like what's the downside to that? Like what's like I don't.
People are crazy.
Yeah.
But either way, yeah, I don't know. I can go on about that forever. You guys stop me here, or I'll just go off. But good to be back. If there's any topics you guys would like us to cover, leave it in the comment section down below. We're kind of doing some restructuring stuff with all of our YouTube stuff, so the uploads, yeah, we'll see what they are. But we're gonna try to get back. We're doing our weekly AWIC filming and Chili's dinner afterwards. So that's our thing.
Yeah.
So,
and on a more positive note, seeing people on our Discord want dinosaur merch like this. This isn't SES stuff, but
I gave him a pass because it is pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you guys also want to see more kind of cool dinosaur merch like this, let us know. I think it'd be cool. I like it.